Hi, good evening, everyone. My name's Malini Saba, and I am chairman of Saba Group of Companies and the chairman of Ananke Foundation. I wanted to talk to you today about cyber stalking, cyberbullying, bullying, and harassment, and why I'm really passionate about this in the foundation and the work that we do around the world. It all started pretty much about 5 years ago when I had faced several men who were very angry with me because I had actually put them away for some bad things that they'd done to some little girls. And they promised, because they had some powerful connections in the country, decided to do a smear campaign against me. And they used a gentleman who worked for me in Sri Lanka at that time as my bodyguard to smear my name. And they went global because I basically stood up against them and said that what they had done was wrong and we needed to put everything straight. And as a result, they basically said I was his illegal wife, that he had murdered several people, that I was an accomplice, that I had was hiding him, and he was a fugitive. Whatever they could find, they wanted to connect me to the whole thing. And there were two things I could do. I could get really upset, get depressed, and feel the whole world is coming down. Or I could take the bull by the horns and tell all of them where to go stick it. And I chose to tell all of them to go stick it. Because to deal with men in a powerful position, you cannot let fear take over. Regardless whether they're politicians, whether they're businessmen, whether they're your boyfriend or your husband or your ex-husband or his ex-girlfriend, or I'm not just saying it's a man who does it. There are women who actually cyberbully and cyberstalk and harass as well. But the reason what I wanted to convey out here today was my story. So what happened was this gentleman worked for me from 2013 to 2015. And I, being a Tamil, decided to invest in Sri Lanka. And being a Tamil, going into that country, nobody you couldn't tell them that you were a Tamil because you were really afraid. And I hired people from the country, and people at that time had come with from the army, from the police, from the Air Force, because the country just came out of a war. So what they did was they falsely made accusations. They falsely tried to tie me into this whole loop and tried to degrade my name. Now, fast forwarding 5 years, I am still fighting for the rights of people who are bullied, who are cyberbullied. In fact, we're doing a huge campaign in India against this, and in other countries around the world, especially for young kids who are bullied, and some of them commit suicide because they can't take the issue. They feel such a loss. They feel no one understands them, and some of them hang themselves, and we have had many of those cases around the world. Well, 5 years down the road, I set up a different company and I hired a couple of people. And unfortunately for me, I got wooed into a relationship and finally realizing the same thing over again. And when I discovered that the people had bankruptcies and financial theft accusations and were felons, and one of them a rapist, I fired the whole lot of them. Only to have them harass me and blackmail me and bully me and threaten me and try to use whatever case they can find or accusations they can find to defame me. And I just want to say to all the ladies out there, women in business, women in the movies, women in school and high school and primary school, and just wives, that you have a voice. You do not let anyone ever make you feel that you have no voice. And you never let a harasser get the better of you. And you never let blackmail win. Because only when you speak out and feel your strength can you actually help others. So I ask all of you out there that if you see a friend, a co-worker, a colleague, a wife, a husband, someone in a working environment getting bullied or harassed, cyber-stalked, it is your responsibility to say something when you see something. Never sit down and say, it's not my problem. Because as human beings, it is your duty to speak up. Thank you.